Hi everyone. Thank you for waiting. And thank you for waiting 2 weeks for me to get on here. I was literally down with the flu. There's this Sunday where I wanted to do the last Sunday I wanted to do the live, and I was like I could not get off the couch. I was literally sitting on the couch and I could not get up. I was feeling so lousy and my body was just breaking down on me. And the last Sunday as well, which was it actually like I healed within the week, and then after that I came back like on the weekend. And then yeah, as you can hear, I'm still a little bit sniffly, but yes, I am here. So hi. Thank you for coming and thank you for your patience. Really means the world to me. But yes, how is everyone doing? For everyone who's new here, hello, and everyone who has been a regular at Megan's Film Club, hello back. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, everyone is sick around me. Everyone's literally sick in Europe at least, or anyone I know, like are they're all sick. Um but yeah, very, very happy to be back. We have amazing films today as usual. And yeah, for those who are new, basically, this is Megan's Film Club. Hello, welcome. And what we do is that we review films that you guys pitch or not pitch to me. I've been using the word pitch so much lately. Like upload on the Google Drive, and we review them live, and we give back our feedback, our reactions, and everything in between. We don't accept violence, vulgarity. Although vulgarity, there might be like a thin line of like maybe we can use it, and a lot of like very gory violence is something that we're not going to be accepting here, just because of like YouTube's guidelines, and I'm just afraid that anything like that could happen. Um, Hello, I'm doing good. Just released a YouTube video, so obsessively refreshing the dashboard. I hate that. I've been refreshing mine for so long, and my last video has been performing so badly, and I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. Um, Please reply on Instagram. I want some advice. What advice do you need? Let me know in the comments, and I will try to say it here. Because I feel like this is also just a lot easier sometimes. But yeah, let me know what questions you have, or if you want me to privately reply, let me know. But yeah, so for anyone who is also new here, we don't need to do it like 5 minutes, like maximum 5 minutes, even though your film is longer or shorter, longer. We try to keep it to 5 minutes so everyone has a chance to get their film showed. Sorry, I'm like really sniffly today. So yeah, my eyes are also like really watery, because I wasn't cutting onions, but my yeah, I'm okay. Um, the advice, not every video can be a banger, is good advice, but can I just one banger for once? No, for real. I feel that in my heart, in my soul, and I'm just like, I can't open YouTube Studio anymore. I just keep refreshing, and it's just like the same shit. So I'm just like, oh, whatever. Hello, love back. Hello, hello. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's starting to flow in right now. So if you guys have any questions before we start our live, then please let us know in the comments, or just type it out in the chat, and I will do my best to reply. I've got a very almost fully drunken Hajija. Mm, we have, I think, 6 films today, if I'm not mistaken, or 7. I just said 6, 7 in public. That is not good. Um, yeah, don't come at me like the Gen Ys. Just please keep it to yourself. But yeah, let me show you the screen of what we're gonna be reviewing today. So just for everyone who is new here, I have around like 150 films still to review, and they keep on coming, which is great. But that just means that we're a little bit behind on time. So this is still like July, August in 2025, the people who have submitted in that time. Um, yeah, so it is a long wait. Exactly, it's a long wait. But basically, these I put them in another folder, in this folder called Today for Live, so that we don't get overwhelmed with like which one we're going after now. And again, I try to do it as much as possible in chronological order, but because like hundreds and thousands of people have access to this Google Drive folder, it does get lost chronologically in the folder sometimes. So that is why this happens, and I try to make it as fair as I can for everyone. But if let me know if I missed out your film, because it does happen more often than not. So yeah. Hello, Lynn. Nice to meet you. Your bangs are looking beautiful. I know they're like really playing with me today. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you noticed that I washed my hair freshly yesterday night, and I'm just like, it's like the best when they're like not too dry, but also like they have a little of time to sit after the shower and it's like a little bit glossy. Yeah, it's giving that today. So very thankful. And I went for a run today and they're still like this. So I'm like, okay, great. I just got a V1 battery for my camera. Do you use one? It completely changed the feel of my camera. It's so heavy now. I feel like I'm gonna drop it. I'm almost exclusively on tripod though. That's good that you're on tripod. I don't have a V mount just because I vlog a lot. I carry my camera with me a lot, so I try to keep it as light as possible. Good light lens, and my FX3 is already like a brick, so just try to keep it light, honestly, for me. But if you're shooting like, obviously like an actual film with tripod and like a team, V mounts are great. Can you give me some color grading tips, ma'am? Because you don't have to call me ma'am. I'm gonna start making short films, and I'm currently stuck there. Currently using CapCut, and after giving it a shot, I will upgrade to Mac. Need some tips. Um, what tips do you need on color grading? Because there's like so many tutorials online, and I wouldn't know where to start. But I think maybe ask me like a specific question about color grading that I could answer better. But would say like a general tip I would give is learn how to color correct before you color grade. And color correcting is very different from color grading. Color correcting is basically like correcting all of the colors, the hues, the temperature, the exposure before you actually go into the stylized color grading, which is a lot more important because then you have a stronger foundation than to color grade. What's your thoughts on anamorphic lenses? That's so funny that this question came up because I was talking to a friend the other day about anamorphic lenses, and I love them personally, but the ones I have are all manual focus, and because coming from someone who basically shoots herself a lot, it's really hard for me to do manual focus a lot of the time because I need something to track me. So I need autofocus lenses, and for the anamorphic lenses that I have, I love them, but they're also really, really hard with the manual focus because I like to do like a very shallow depth of field. And obviously, that's really hard when you're filming yourself on, like on a manual focus anamorphic lens. Oh, thank you so much. Hard agree, color correction first. You got that, Jim. I'm actually looking for a warm look vintage type of color grading, but the thing is, I'm confused in the hues and temp part. I would say there are a lot of YouTube videos that go like go with this about this tutorial for beginners, and I think you should really watch them because I think you learn so much when you're copying a tutorial and like doing it yourself, because then you know like what you need to do and like where you need to start and where everything is. But yes, I think that is like the best advice I can give you. Like literally go to YouTube and like just like search color grading, like vintage looks or like film look color grading. There are so many tutorials on that, and they're like it's just so much easier when you're like you on your own time. You can get to sort of recreate the look that they are recreating on their screen. Advice for a teen on how to become a filmmaker. I would say literally pick up a camera and start writing your own stories. I One thing I think I would have really, really loved to have done is work more on my writing and storytelling, because I think that is like one of the it is the essential thing when telling a story and when filmmaking, because when making a film, because without a good story, with the best equipment, the best team, crew, a star celebrity or whatever, if you don't have a good story at the end of the day, you are effed. So I am really trying to start. I'm starting to learn how to write properly and how to story tell in the ways that I want to. And I think I was blessed in the sense that I kind of had this like natural feeling inside of me on how to tell a story. But I feel like I'm not there yet in the sense of like I'm professional. So I really, really want to start learning professionally how to tell stories and um, make films. So I would definitely recommend starting out there. All right, guys. Oh, I mean, I love your work. How do you come up with this story for a film? I take a lot of inspiration from real life experiences and also from films and animations or games. Yeah. I'm thinking to start my YouTube channel, but I'm too much procrastinating to scripting, thinking I end up doing nothing all day. What should I do? That is really hard, but I try to make a timeline for myself. So I give myself a timeline and a time frame so that I actually work towards that. And I think that is really, really helpful, because I procrastinate a lot. And if I give myself a little bit of time restraint and like a reward after I've done something, I feel more motivated. If like I tell myself like, okay, after this I can watch my series in peace and I don't really have to think about work, then I'll be like, okay, let me get this done today so I can have a rest at night. All right, sorry about me blabbering. Let us jump into this real quick. All right, so today we have very, very cool films. We have 6 films today, and we're starting off strong with Recluse by Adam Jackson. So enjoy. Off the bat, I love the color grading and the lighting. It's very like it's giving that one scene in Blade Runner where he enters the building and it's everything is just like orange and it's basically sort of like almost like a monochrome color, like orange and black. And that is exactly what this is giving. What I would say, the first thought that I have is that the contrast is a little bit too low for this, and I would definitely try to crank up the contrast just to give it a little bit more of a cinematic feel. And yeah. That is a beautiful shot. I love how it like the room looks messy, but it doesn't look like it was made messy for the film in the sense that it looks very natural, like the setting and art direction of this, and which I think is a very, very important part of film as well, your art direction and what the space that you are in designed to be on screen. I also like the back and forth cuts into this where he's like looking between his phone and the piece of like tissue that he's written the number on, and then we kind of cut back to like an over the shoulder shot on the phone, and I feel like that is very it's very coherent, and I just kind of like how he plays with the angles, and also yeah, the lighting is great. I would say though, I think it might be a little bit underexposed, and maybe that's why he couldn't bring up the contrast as much as I think I would like to see the contrast, or maybe it's just like a again like an artistic choice. But I feel like maybe if he cranked up the lighting a bit, he would have more space or room to play with the contrast and the color grading after all. Again, I love the lighting. It's like soft but also harsh. I guess it's harsh because it's super orange, and but like this the lighting is soft, and I think he diffused it, like I'm guessing these are windows and they're like matte or like how do you say, like ribbed windows. So they have a little bit of like a matte finish to it which diffuses the light perfectly, and then he obviously has these like sort of translucent sheer white curtains that I think also really, really help diffuse the light. Also, I'm getting some questions here. Sorry. Hi Megan, do you ever plan to sell LUTs? Sorry, I just joined the live late. Not sure if you. No worries. I don't ever plan to sell LUTs. Actually, I'm not. I don't know why, but I just feel like I'm not at that point yet where I'm able to sell LUTs. Like I don't think my color grading is as professional to be able to sell LUTs. So that's why I don't want to sell LUTs. And also, I feel like if I did sell a lot, I feel like it wouldn't work on everything that you would like slap it on, you know? And I feel like LUTs are supposed to do that. I mean, I like a LUT to be like that if I just like slapped it on everything and it just works. And I feel like if I were to make a LUT, it wouldn't work. But also I'm just like not very interested in general on selling LUTs, I guess, if that would be super honest answer. It's just that I'm not very interested in selling LUTs. I'm definitely looking to sell something else, but like LUTs, no. That's why I put out my color grading tutorials for free so you guys can like experiment and see what works for your clips and stuff. But like selling LUTs for me is like it never really has been I don't know, it never really has been like a thought for me on the table. I hope you understand. I'm sorry to disappoint if I did disappoint. If you don't mind me asking, what is your end goal? Do you wish to direct your films in a production company, film festivals? Sorry if you answered this already. I haven't actually, but thank you for asking. I would love to, which I'm doing now. I would love to direct music videos and commercials and films, of course. I'm really much more concentrating right now on directing music videos because that's something I'm super passionate about in this time, and narrative commercials is something I'm also very passionate about, which you see a lot on my Instagram and everything because I get a lot of my brand deals from there, and that's where I really get to play with the budget and creatively sort of shaping an idea and a story for a commercial brand. And aside that, I'm currently directing music videos, but yes, that is the end goal. And also, I love doing social media, so I want to do this, as long as I can. And yeah, I'm also really looking into building my own business. So that is also one of my goals in life. um, Where is it? Where is it? Okay. I think LUTs in general are a good way to support a creator. I use Filmex for a decent way to get a film emulation. That's true. I just again like I don't know. I was never really interested in selling LUTs, and I feel like I'd be bad at it. So yeah. Hey Megan, where do you write your script, on your PC, laptop, or pen and paper? Both. Yes. All right. All right, right, right. Let's get back to this. I think he's really using the most he can out of his room, which I find really fascinating because he's using one room, one light, and a few like now obviously more colors are coming in, but a lot of it is really about the camera movement and about the sound effects that he's using. And I think he's doing such a great job, even with like the transitions and like the slow zoom in into the window where he's hearing the sound from. And as the sounds and the music starts getting louder, I think he's doing such a great job in telling a story in that sense. I love that. I feel like he did it so well. Like it feels like a really high production film. I think a lot of Hollywood films and a lot of like big production films, what you see on screen or like Amazon Prime or whatever, right? I think a lot of it they use this kind of cuts. So they have this like chaotic scene, bop, and then you open the next scene with absolute silence and everything's just silence, and you don't know how the other scene ended, the chaos ended, you just kind of like are breaking you're broken into this like new scene. And I guess him using this like really dull lighting and like really soft lighting and the messy sort of like room that he's in, he really creates the claustrophobia vibe and how I guess he's feeling inside. I guess he lost someone that he loved. Um, and I feel like, he has this messy bed hair and everything, and he's just, I guess, sort of like depressed in his situation right now. And the way he's brought this across the screen also makes the audience feel that way, or at least it makes me feel that way, like claustrophobic and dark. It feels like it's not like a good time in my life, sort of thing. Which is also very important when telling the story. So I really, really like how he put this together.
Hey Cassandra, this is Vincent. Um, we we met at Joseph's wedding some time ago. Promised to call you back. Yeah. Um, I know it's been some time ago, but just wanted to know how you've been.
I love this shot, and I also love how we have to stay with him through this like awkward, like phone call that he's, obviously making to someone that he hasn't spoken to in a long time. And this obviously also tortures and forces the audience to watch this as he goes through this awkward phone call. And again, it's really good in portraying what he's feeling and what he's actually going through as the main character, and you feel like you're him. And I feel like in this stillness and the way that we're just seeing absolutely nothing other than his back of the head is very jarring in the sense that you literally have to stay there and watch. Like you can't look anywhere else. You're not looking at his expressions. You're literally looking at the back of his head. Um, so in that way, very very good. I love. So we're at 5 minutes, so we have to stop sadly. But I loved the lighting, the composition of the shots and the shots themselves. Personally, I feel like it could have been a little bit brighter the light so that he could add more contrast into the color grading after that, or the color correction. Um, but other than that, I found it super sort of like well edited. I found it very well edited and written as well. So I wish I could have seen more of the conversation going on right now with Cassandra, because I feel like that would have opened up a whole new world for us. But we have at the end to give everyone like a chance. So thank you so much, Adam, for sharing this beautiful film with us. And it really reminded me of that one Blade Runner scene. Everyone, give him a round of applause, please. And of course, if you guys have any feedback, critique, obviously constructive critique, please leave it in the chat, because we are not here only to, share with each other, but also to share with him what he could have done better, what he did really well, and stuff like that. So thank you so much, Adam. Yes, I really enjoyed it. All right. Why do I sing? Anyways, this one is called Kite. I don't know who this is from, but hopefully I'll see it in the video. Um, this one's a bit sad. I was looking through it for a bit this today, so get your tissues ready. All right, let's go. I love that this is shot on CapCut, and I think it's shot on a phone. You can just tell how like this is just goes to show like how simple it can be to make films. And the lighting for this, the parents are fighting. This is super good. Don't actually you show sort of like what the kid sees instead of what what the adult sees, because adult will probably you'll be probably looking at their faces and you see it very up close, but as a kid you're sort of like in the background, you're in your room and you hear your parents fighting, and this is the image you get. You're like half awake, and so this I feel like it definitely fits the vibe. And again, this is shot on a phone and edited on CapCut, as you guys can see. And again, goes to show all you need is a great idea. So personally, frying part, what I would have done is that I would have maybe added a little bit of like, and obviously this is really hard on CapCut, but I guess add a little bit more of like an audio effects or audio effect to make it sound like the crying is coming from the same room, because now you can hear that it's like a voiceover, like a ADR. But I would personally try to sort of either take it in the room itself, like actually record it in the room itself, or um, sort of like get some sound effects on it to make it sound like it's in the room itself, because now it sounds like a voiceover. And it's I think for the audience it's very like it takes you out of the scene because it's not in the scene, if that makes sense. I love that. I mean, it's a very hard story to tell, and obviously a very heart-wrenching story. But I feel like with a phone and with CapCut, he or she or they told that story so beautifully, and it really just conveyed the message. For me, it wasn't even like, you know, it didn't even seem unprofessional or like cheesy or whatever. I just feel like because the story was so well told, even though it was shot on like a phone or edited on CapCut, it was really well told. And I think the message was definitely, it got across. And it made me sad to watch something like this because I know a lot of children have to go through this. Um, so I really appreciated that she shared this with us, and how the story was told. I really like the shot as well before before she throws the kite and she lets it fall. It's sort of like we don't follow her. We have this sound, and then she goes away, and then we follow sort of like the movement, and then we pan towards the paper airplane. Um, which to me is a lot stronger as if we were to follow her to see her parents, because in the end we know what happens, and sometimes you just gotta show and not tell, if that makes sense. Like you let the audience think for themselves, so it's not like blatant in front of you. And I think she did that in such good ways, even with the shadow in the beginning and everything. I think it's really something that shows you and not tells you directly. So thank you so much for this beautiful film, and everyone give her please a round of applause. Hello, Gareth. Welcome to our little live session. Yeah. If you have any comments or any feedback for any of the films you're watching, please let us know, and just discuss it in the chat. But yeah, thank you so much. All right, the next one is called Aku, Kau, dan Nasi Lemak. So this is, I'm guessing it's from a Malaysian filmmaker. Nasi Lemak is a national dish from Malaysia. And it's basically, the title says me, you, and nasi lemak. Nasi lemak, if you guys don't know what it is, it's like a rice dish with chicken, with like chili paste, cucumber, coconut rice, um, peanuts, and some like fried anchovies. And that is one of our national dishes. And food is a big, huge thing, I think, in Asia in general, and in Malaysia definitely is a very, very important thing to us. And it means love, it means a connection, and it means bringing people together. So I'm guessing this is from a Malaysian filmmaker. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. All right. Oh, my nose is killing me.
Hai, aku Nurul. Aku suka gila tengok ibu kat dapur. Tangan dia laju je tepung. Buat kuih dengan penuh sayang. Bau nasi lemak yang baru masak menusuk hidung. Buat perut aku bergeruncung.
The bat, I love the camera movement, and I like how it just starts with this little girl. Exactly, it's a nice tracking shot. She opens the door, and then you follow her, and then you don't follow all the way to the mom, and then we have a cut, and then she comes in, which I really, really like, because it's sort of like a coherent cut, where you have movement in the last shot and then movement in the next shot, which I really like. And also I kind of like the color grading here as well. Very warm, and the blues kind of really stick out from the brown and the yellows as well.
Ibu nak belajar. Nak jadi macam ibu. Ibu masak sambal nasi lemak. Favorite Nurul kan?
Ibu,
Ya, anak ibu.
Nurul nak belajar masak macam ibu.
Sebab?
Nurul nak jadi chef yang terkenal.
Boleh anak ibu. Tapi buat masa ni, Nurul kena belajar dengan ibu dulu. Sebab masak ni kena banyak sabar. Okey?
Ibu, Nurul nak belajar cepat-cepat.
So a little bit of a backstory. There's sadly I think there's no captions for this, or English captions. But basically saying that she would love to become a famous chef, and the mom was saying like, the mom is saying basically like, well, first of all, you have to learn from me, because it takes a lot of patience to make nasi lemak. And then she says like, I really want to learn really fast. But yeah, that's a backstory, just so that I don't know if I can translate the whole thing, just because like it would just kind of interject our our film time. But yeah, I love the colors so far. I would say like, I don't know if they're using an ND filter, but some of the parts, especially when we're shooting towards the mom, the background is very blown out. I would try to use an ND filter there, just to like sort of balance the blown out parts. But yes, I really like the shooting and the colors.
Nanti Nurul boleh masak nasi lemak macam ibu.
Ya. Meh sini Meh, tolong ibu Meh. Kita buat sama-sama ya. Ni. Nurul buat apa tu sayang? Nak tolong ibu. Boleh. Sekejap ya.
Another thing I would say is that I don't know what FPS this is on, but it's very like jittery, especially with the tracking shots and the movement. I think he might be on like a lower FPS than he might he should be, maybe, if that makes sense. So that's maybe where the jitterness of the camera is coming from. But yes, I think maybe if we could fix that a little bit more, I think that could be really good.
Nasi lemak biasa RM3. Kalau nasi lemak perempuan RM7. Yang ni nasi lemak ayam goreng RM5 je. Tapi tinggal satu je dia. Tinggal nasi lemak ayam je, ayam goreng.
Boleh lah bagi saya nasi lemak ayam goreng.
Boleh ni tu. Bungkus kan kat abang tu. Dia tu bungkus tu. Bungkus tu. Apa dia? Baik?
Nasi bagus lah anak akak ni. Dah besar boleh berniaga.
InsyaAllah.
Wah.
Terima kasih. Akan jual dia.
Also, I really like how they jump from one scene to another. It is also like, I think one of the bigger mistakes that filmmakers make in the beginning is definitely like jumping from one scene to another, especially with the sound. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it should be happening, or it just like it feels very sudden. And for this one, it like some parts it feels sudden, but some parts it doesn't. But I think does it in a really good he does it in a really good sense, where he kind of like J cuts the sound first and then goes into the next scene, which is a very, very good technique of like bringing the audience obviously to the next scene smoothly, because then you have like the sound first and then obviously the visuals. I would say for this one, I would try to layer and fade in the sound a little bit more to make it even smoother than what it is now.
Weh, kau tak makan ke? Aku ada buat nasi lemak ni.
Boleh lah.
Kau fikir apa? Dah tadi termenung je aku tengok.
Tak ada apa pun. Cuma aku teringat kat masakan mak aku. Dan aku rindu nak makan nasi lemak dia. Dan aku pun rindu nak masak sendiri.
Alah kau ni. Ni ke sekolah sains. Bukan ni ke yang mak kau nak. Fokuslah sikit dekat pelajaran tu. Masak tu kan boleh buat nanti.
Tapi setiap kali aku tengok kat buku-buku tu semua, hati aku stick kat masak. Dan aku rasa aku lagi hidup kalau aku kat dapur.
Hash kau ni. Kau ni memang pelik sikit. Tapi kau tetap kena lulus SPM juga. Nasi lemak tu takkan bagi kau A pun dalam sains.
Aku tahu. Tapi aku nak masak. Aku minat masak. Dan kalau boleh aku nak buat dua-dua tu.
Dah makan.
So what the friend is basically saying is that the shot through the window, by the way. In Malaysia, in schools, we have a lot of like this tilted windows, as you can see in the back. These are like the windows, and you can tilt them back so they all kind of like fold into a window. And they're shooting basically through an open tilted window. What she's saying is that basically that this girl, which was the younger girl, should really focus on her studies more than like actually thinking about cooking with her mom and like pursuing her cooking career. And yeah, the friend is saying you better just like, pass your exams first and then you can think about that later. And the other girl is saying like, oh, my heart really belongs to the kitchen and I really want to cook. And it doesn't matter how long I've looked at the books, like I really, really like my heart is still in the kitchen, sort of. Yeah.
Ni ambil lah, aku dah buat lebih.
Oh my God, they're shooting this in my hometown. It's where my dad grew up. So Malacca is it's like a state in Malaysia, and that's where my dad grew up. So very nice to see that it was shot here. I like this focus shift there. Again, like I feel like it might be shot on the wrong frames per second because it's very jittery, which is sort of bothering me, but I might be wrong.
Sedap punya bau. Kau jual ke?
Aku jual sikit-sikit. Nak cuba?
Okey. Aku nak satu. Tapi satu berapa?
RM3 je.
Okey, satu.
Sekejap
RM3. Right. Terima kasih.
Sama.
I really like the color grading in this as well. The reds are really nice in the background, and obviously he stands out. I don't like the black chairs. I feel like they're so glossy and just like it's so distracting. But obviously, if you're filming in a public place like this, and this is a university or a school, it's obviously super hard to control. But other than that, I really like the color grading.
Sedap tak nasi lemak tu?
Sedap lah.
By the way, nama kau apa?
Nama aku Arif, nama kau?
Nurul.
Oh, tapi nasi lemak ni memang sedap lah.
Terima kasih. Aku buat suka-suka je.
Tapi kalau kau betul-betul serius, insyaAllah kau boleh berjaya. Jangan cakap macam tu. Kalau kau betul-betul serius, kau boleh sukses tau. Tapi kalau kau nak aku tolong jualan ke promosi ke, kau beritahu aku boleh tolong.
Terima kasih. Aku memang pilihkan.
So we have to end it here, but he was basically saying that it's like she came over to ask him like, how does it taste? And he's like, oh, super good. And she's like saying, yeah, just like do it as a hobby, and it's just sort of like for a fun thing. And he's like, well, if you're really serious about it, I think you could really do it really well, and you could sell it really well. And if you ever need help with like promotions and stuff like that, let me know. And she's like, oh, really? And then after that, I kind of like cut it off. But in general, I really like the storytelling. I like the tracking shots, especially in the beginning, and the color grading as well. I think it's a very wholesome like film, and like the bokeh is really nice. The focus play is also really nice. I love when a film has good focus play and knows when to play with the focus, which is super important. And yeah, I think this was shot on a camera, if I'm not mistaken, Jim, but I might be wrong. But anyways, I hope I translated good enough for you guys to sort of like follow the story. Thank you so much. I think it's Firdaus. Let me see. Yes, thank you so much, Firdaus, for sharing this film with us. This was beautiful, and I'm so happy that it's shot in my hometown, which I am always a big fan of. Really reminds me of home. I'm flying back home next week, and I cannot wait to go home. And this just like brings that all together for me as the feeling. So thank you so much. Everyone give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so sorry, guys. Like my my eyes are like really watering, and my nose is so stuffy. I'm so sorry if I'm like, I keep doing this. Like, don't think I'm rolling my eyes at the film. I'm literally rolling my eyes because it's so like I'm in pain, and my nose is just like Okay, next one. This is called Sniper Back in Florida by Kajus Darginis. I really hope I did not butcher that. But yeah. If this is like giving office, sort of like a funkier office intro.
Even better, it's left forward.
I really like the starting shot with him coming on, and it's sort of like a tracking pan from him. I watched through this a little bit because I wanted to see obviously if everything's okay, because it is called Sniper, so I was like, okay, maybe there's violence that, but there isn't. But basically what I wanted to say is that it's really like it's hard to follow them, especially with something like this with so heavy dialogue. Like I cannot follow them because I just don't know what they're saying, because I think for this production there were no mics involved, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of the sound is just coming from the camera sound, or like the room sound, if that's what it's called. What I really would advise and suggest is getting a mic on, even though it's like a lav mic that's, you know, like pinned or clipped to your actors. I think it'll be super helpful to just like kind of understand what they're saying. Obviously, if you really tune in and listen to them, what they're saying, yes, you can hear them, but it just makes the film very hard to understand, and therefore loses, I guess, it would lose, I think, the attention of the viewers. So that would be like my number one advice.
Hours. Morning, Gloria. Still alive, I see.
Barely, unlike fashion sense.
Hey, this jacket is vintage, like you. Timeless, sharp, and full of secrets.
Keith Laramie and I might just misplaced some next request in their hives. Again.
Alright, I'll stop before you found me under lost cause.
I feel like the girl is playing pretty well. I would say for the guy, he obviously, I'm guessing he's the main character in this, but I think he is a little bit stiff in this. I would try to kind of like loosen him up, make him do a little bit more of like actors, how do you say, actors, some exercises before getting him into his role, like actually like making him jump, doing physical exercises just to loosen his body up and as well as his voice. Because now it really comes off to me as he's basically rehearsing his lines. Like you can hear that the actor is reading out his lines and like trying to memorize and what he's saying, right? So to make a film as convincing as possible, I would try to definitely go through their scripts with them beforehand, like rehearse with them a few weeks in advance. And obviously, if you don't have the time and budget, like 1 day would do, or like 2 days, right? So yeah, I think that that would be also one of my bigger advices here, is to really kind of make sure that your actors know what they're saying, and not like, so that it doesn't sound like it's scripted, if that makes sense.
Too late. Arrive between all shit and solve messes.
No, that's just cool. Have a beautiful day, Gloria.
You see the game last night? If by game you mean that public execution, then yeah, I saw it. The defense wasn't that bad. Morgan, we opened wider than your ex-wife. Oh, fuck off.
Again, like, character is not bad. I would just say like the actors are reading, and I feel like the guy who's sitting across the desk is reading a script. I don't know if he's reading or looking at the script, but it definitely seems like it, because he's looking down, he's saying his lines, and then he's looking back up, and then he's saying his lines again while he's looking down. So I feel like things like that definitely obviously make up a film, if the actors are reading and if the actors are not playing convincingly enough. So for me, that would be like the biggest factor for this film. Yeah, I just feel like the actors are more like, they're more scripted than they should.
Dude, traffic wants to hold a stronger line. They're rebuilding. So is Iraq, but at least we got a plan.
So we'll make a hell of a couple, you know that?
Told you should have locked the damn door. Don't matter yourself, brains. If this was a love triangle, you'd be the plot twist no one asked for.
Relax, I'm just here to kill some time. Things are too quiet out there.
Yeah, well, all we got left is paperwork and a vending machine that it's changed faster than Morgan's ex-wife. Dude, come on, that ain't funny.
Sorry to knock you a little roast session, gentlemen, but it's just humor.
Is it from Morgan's ex-wife?
Finally, some real work. Well, I'll be damned. The old fuck is still alive? Who is? Named Sniper.
So again, with the playing of this, I kind of like how they have to go. I like the banter and like the going back and forth. I think it's really well written. What I would say though is that the one way you can tell that is scripted is one actor waits for the other one to say its lines, and then only they basically react back. And that's not how real conversations work, right? Real conversations work in the sense where you're already saying something and someone already has something to say to you, because while they're listening to you actively, they have something they want to say back. So either they take some time to think about it, of like what you just said or what you just read, and then they say something, or they're interrupting you as you're talking. And in this case, the way you can tell that is scripted, it's more of like, he says something and then he reacts right after. Like, you know, he's gonna react because he literally immediately says it. So in that sense, I would say that you give him a little bit more time to digest what the other character just said before you ask him to react, because then it seems more of like a natural occurring conversation.
Rings a bell? They went to good old Mr. Williams some time after to help some Russian folk in Russia back in '86. That's the one. What about him? Apparently, he's here now. Got a case of 5 murders down in Miami Beach sitting on my desk. How's that sound to you, Morgan? Out of all the cases, we had to get this one back.
I just remembered. I need to call someone back. I'll catch you guys later.
What's up with him? I don't know. And I don't want to.
Right. Open the damn door. Okay, geez, I will. If you don't tear it down. I need to see the 86 Tom Robinson case.
I like the location for this one. It's very vintage, very like retro, and I like the small little door. Makes it feel a little bit more realistic as well. Yeah, I really like the sort of like location and set design exactly.
Tandra?
That's the one.
It's a classified case. I can't hand it to you like it's nothing.
I have all the approvals. Now show me the fucking case, Ryan.
Okay, I will. Just stop spitting in my face. But why do you need it anyway? After 17 years.
Something came up. I need to check it for detail.
I like that camera movement. It kind of follows him as the person who's coming into the room, which is very cool.
Oh yeah, 17 years must be hell of a late bloomer.
Some things just don't stay buried.
1986. There it is. It's a bit dusty, but still breathing. Back when gas was cheap and my biggest problem was the upcoming exams. You sure want to dig into the Cold War leftovers?
I think these were written by students that were there. I think their first language is not English by the accent. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they wrote oh my god, they wrote this so well. It's a very like nice comedy banter that I really am enjoying. Like I feel like this would definitely take place in like a a sitcom or like sort of like a Brooklyn 99 kind of like show. You know what I mean? I think the script is really well done. Again, I think it's just the actors, they have to have a little bit more of like that coming into the character kind of like vibe. A lot of them are very stiff in the sense that they're not showing much expression, or they have the same movement of reaction, or they reply too fast, which makes it feel like it's scripted. But other than that, I think the script is so well done for such young filmmakers.
So don't just run, you just wait.
Well, okay, philosopher. I guess we're doing the moody detective thing. Guy disappears for 5 minutes and comes back with the meaning of life in a dusty folder. All before lunch.
Just open it.
Standard stuff. Intel memos. Redacted, of course.
Keep going.
Mission led to an ambush during the assassination attempt near a house in district 37 kilometers northeast of Yakutsk. Radio contact with Detective Robinson was lost on October 31st, 1986. Presumed missing in action.
Any photo attachments?
Yeah.
Hey boys, dropping off some documents.
Yeah, go right ahead, Natalie. Yeah, so back to your question in mind. Yes, there is. The main protagonist sniper, real name unknown. It's an old army photo from 1937.
How the fuck did you track that down?
Some Cold War magic, I guess. Or someone had a long memory. Also, the last photo of Tom before he was deployed to Yakutia. And this is Nikolai Petrov, Russian detective. Dead, 6 shots in the head. Crucial.
I really love the accent when he says the names and like the Russian detective. It's like, it really fits the vibe.
Strange thing. Tom's body was never found. No blood, no DNA, no traces. Like, he just vanished.
Did Tom have any relatives or close colleagues?
Well, he had a wife, Camelia Robinson. I reckon also had a daughter, but she killed herself like one of those emo cults, you know.
Anyone in the office he was close to?
He was kind of a dick back in the day. No one really liked him much. Only Chief Williams.
Williams?
Yeah, the good old Chief Williams. He died from lung cancer a couple years ago. God rest his soul.
You know what his wife might be?
Well, I think his last known address was 2215 Northwest 57th Street here in Miami.
Noted. Thanks for the help, man.
That was surely something.
Oh, sorry, we're way over time. But Kajus, so basically I think I've said a lot of the things I already meant in the film. I think it was really well written. I just feel like, again, the sound was a big factor in this. I think it would be super helpful to just not use the camera sound, but also use mics on your actors so that it's so much easier and clearer for the audience to hear what they're saying in general. And that really helps lead a better film. And then secondly, again, the actors, I feel like they had to have a little bit more rehearsal and they knew their lines very well. I wouldn't deny that. I think it's just that they need a little bit more practice of getting into more like of a natural flow than anything else. But in general, very well written, and I like the sets and prop designs and how much effort you guys gave each other for the dress and setting. So thank you so much, Kajus. Please, everyone give him a big round of applause. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one is called Picture Perfect by Mouad. Okay, that one was a really short one and a really sweet one, but I didn't want to stop between just because, like, you know, it's a really short one. But in general, I really like the rig shot of him like on the camera. Hold up. I also really like this. I think this is a very digicam kind of like vibe, which I'm always into, as you guys know. And then this shot also is amazing. And then you have sort of like a bit of like a reverse thing going on here, which is fun. And I think my best, the one that I really liked was, this is also a very nice frame. This one's really cool when he lifts it up to the camera and it's like a wide angle and you see him from the top and not only the bottom. But yes, a lot of stuff happened in 12 seconds. Very cool. Thank you so much, Mouad. Everyone give him a round of applause as well. For some reason, 18 seconds feels really short after you watch 5-minute like long films. But like when you're watching 18 seconds on a reel, it feels like forever, if that makes sense. This one is called No More Mary by Joshua Liu. I love starts like these because it really literally brings you immediately to the thought of like what is going to happen next. Love the pacing. I love the shots. It's giving chaotic. It's giving drunk, which is probably what he is. I recently watched this documentary, or more so of like a breakdown of Akira Kurosawa's work, work. And one thing that he lived by was that the camera should follow the character and the subject, because what else would the character be? What else would the camera be doing? If you have a shot where the character is moving and the camera is still, and it's something like this where you want to convey a big chaotic story, what are you doing, right? You are forcing either you want to force the audience to stay still, or you don't know how to play with that movement. And I think Akira did it in such a great way where as the audience you follow the character's movement because you are the character. And this is, I think, a very good example of that, where you are the character and you're living his life and you're putting yourself as an audience into his shoes. Hello, David. I've been following your work for a month now and I'm super impressed and grateful. I don't know how much English, but I just want to thank you from Colombia. Thank you so much. Welcome to the live.
Sarah, it's been 2 months. Even I've got costs to pay.
Sorry, I know things have been very, very slow at work.
Tell me again, what is it you actually do?
I work at the salon.
Love the conversation. Again, you could see the difference between the pacing of the conversation from the last. Why do I have a Google Meets? I don't know if you guys heard that, but oh right, I have a meeting very soon. But basically the conversation and the pacing of like the conversation, like, oh my god, I cannot speak. The conversation and the pacing and how the pauses work. And I feel like this is a very good example of a natural conversation you would have with your nasty landlord.
I want tomorrow, or you're out.
Please. Oh, excuse me.
Anyway, I've made my point.
Sí, ¿cómo anda? Muy bien. Es que en este momento es un poco complicado de encontrar, tener dinero. El trabajo no funciona muy bien. Me encantaría comprar un collar para su cumple. Me estaría... Espérate, yo de nuevo. Hey, what the fuck? You can't come into my fucking room and then
Have you got anything to drink?
Look, I had a very long night, okay? I'm very tired and I just want some quiet and peace. And would you stop? What the fuck is the matter with you?
Get off me!
So sorry.
Oh, that was a very nice transition from her to the big mirror. Also very suspenseful.
Is this about Mary? It's been 2 years, Jonathan. At some point, you're going to have to let it go. What is past is past. I know it's hard, but you have no choice. And you can't feel miserable about yourself your whole life just because you lost her.
Here's the deal. I'm prepared to pay you however much you want, whatever you want, if you'll help me with a favour.
What favor?
Have sex with me.
What?
Look,
Girl, don't do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, this is actually very suspenseful. And I like how they're using like one shot. There's literally one shot.
I'm in a really bad place right now. Yeah,
Clearly.
and I the only way that I can see myself getting through this is by sleeping with you.
Will guys say anything to get laid?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You're a hooker, aren't you?
How dare he?
How did you know?
I figured you were one when you kept getting random phone calls and sneaking out in the middle of the night. You always pay your rent in cash. Some days you'll have lots, the next day, nothing. Plus, you always carry 2 mobile phones with you. One I'm guessing is your personal, and the other is for the night. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Escort. I am an escort.
Same shit.
Just because you know what I'm doing doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to sleep with you.
Disgusting. This is really well done though. The both of them are doing such a great job of acting the scene out. I'm believing this.
Here,
What is this?
consider it as payment.
How did you even get this much
It's only
money?
for emergencies.
I don't know how to respond to this.
You know.
Don't do it. We're ending this here. I cannot see any more of this. Don't do it, girl. Anyway, no, literally, how is this an emergency? But I feel like guys would take anything for an emergency to get laid. But anyway, that's a conversation for the next time. Joshua, this was very, very well done. I really like the acting and the movement of the camera. I would say the color grading is a little bit too green, but I'm one to speak. But other than that, I think it was so professionally shot, and the pacing and the directing of this was very, very well done. So thank you so much, Joshua. This was actually I think everyone was intrigued in the film, in the chat. No one has said anything because everyone's just like, and I was also like, don't do it, girl. But you made the actor a very unlikable character, which I very much appreciate because I think that's exactly how he should be. Like this you know, like toxic piece of poo. So thank you very much. Well, I have a hard time suggesting anything. The long take was amazing. Same. I love the shot and the acting too. In my opinion, the indie film, I feel like they would did a great job. Yes, I really like the concept as well. I'm gonna watch this later on as well. Thank you so much, Joshua. Yeah, that was our live for today. Everyone give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Joshua. All right, let me close this down. Okay. Well, if you guys have any questions, thoughts in the chat, I have like 5 minutes because I have a meeting after this. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Very, very grateful. So sorry, my nose is blocked and I'm just like, I cannot breathe. Like do you see how watery my eyes are? But yes, thank you everyone for coming. Thanks, Jordan. I see you commented on every one of my videos. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the beautiful comments about my appearance. Do you only react to short films? I basically react to anything. I can react to animations, to short films, to feature films, but we all have to stop at 5 minutes to give everyone a chance. It's just like a rule instead, because if not, then we would be sitting here for hours watching someone else's film for one film after another, and it would just take too long. And I'm pretty sure everyone's dying to get their films reviewed as well. So I'm trying to give everyone a really, really fair chance. And if it's below 5 minutes and everyone gets, we watch the whole thing. A question I have is, what are some challenges you're currently facing as a solo filmmaker? That's a very good question, because I was actually talking to someone about it today, and I was saying to him that sometimes it's harder to involve more people because it just means more money involved and more time wasted. But it also obviously can also save a lot of time, and a lot of skills are, being spread out. In that case, it's very helpful. But in some of the cases, it's more of like you hire a lot of people, a lot of money and time goes into hiring more people. And being a solo filmmaker, to answer your question, sorry, I was babbling. I think one of the biggest challenges is, again, like you don't have someone to bounce off your ideas off that basically knows the ins and outs of the industry and like of what you're trying to work through. And I do have my partner who does that with me, and but I wouldn't say is currently, like, he's not in the film industry. So for me, it's sometimes easier and maybe a little bit, it makes maybe more sense to bounce it off of people who have industry experience and who actually work in the field that I do. But also sometimes it's just nice to get like an opinion from the outside as well. But yeah, I think that would be, the biggest challenge is basically that you don't have people to bounce off your ideas off. And obviously sometimes when you need a very specific shot with movement, it's really hard to film that. And I guess that's the obvious part of being a solo filmmaker. And I think for me, it's mostly bouncing off my ideas to someone on someone, and being able to just like discuss creative thoughts and things like that. I think at some point you kind of reach like a quota of like who you can discuss that with, and I guess that's just one of like the bigger challenges. It's so awesome that you're doing this. I look forward to it every week. Thank you so much. I know a lot of people don't come to this live. I think a lot of people watch it after I posted it still, but I'm very, very grateful. I compare myself a lot to like people doing like live streams on Twitch, and they have like 50,000 like viewers watching them per minute, and I'm just like, it would be really cool to have that, but also I'm very, very grateful to just have like this small little cute community that I come to every weekend, and where we sort of really get, this intimate sort of, I guess, experience and exchange, rather than like the whole chat just overflowing. So I guess I like to see it that way. But I do get sometimes a little bit insecure of like how many people are coming to these lives and if they're really worth it. For me, it's worth it because like I get so inspired by this, but also just like, I look, again, I compare myself a lot to a lot of people who are doing these other live streams, I guess. Yeah. That's interesting, as I aspire to build a creative team. I do too. I really want to start like actually maybe not full-time, but like more part-time. You know, I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but on my YouTube, I've been hiring editors. I've been trying to like also help try to hire script writers to help me write a little bit better and like just sort of like structure my scripts and my edits a little bit better. And also obviously it helps me save time as I'm working on different videos and different projects at the same time, because I'm really trying to push out every like a video every month on YouTube, and that is so hard. Oh my god. I'm sure you guys know, but yeah. Oh wow, there's so many chats. Okay. Doing the job of 10 and 20 different people at once is when shooting a scene is always difficult for me. Yes. Earlier, you mentioned you wanted to have your own business. Is that regarding filmmaking? So, if so, what's stopping you from doing it now? I am actually already building the business. I will definitely tell you guys when it's ready. I just don't want to prematurely say anything and jinx anything, so I won't tell you guys yet. But I am building a business that is based on sort of filmmaking and photography as well. But my god, this is like the first time I've said it like in public. But I didn't want to say it for the longest time because I didn't know if it was gonna work, and I don't know. I didn't want to jinx it. It's like almost there, and I'm probably gonna be launching it this year. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any guesses of what it is. But I just very nervous. I'm very unsure of myself. But I'm really hoping for the best, and I truly believe in the business that I'm building, and very excited, but also very just nervous to just kind of go backfire on me, you know. But yeah. Thank you so much for the luck. I need it. Enjoy the lives. Well, I am late. Thank you so much. I said, I want to know. I love our indie film content so much. I want to know if you are planning on doing more of your indie films soon in the future, Megan. Yes, I do have actually indie films that I have not released yet because I wasn't very proud of it. And the director knows this. I was a DP on it, and she also knows that I wasn't very proud of the work that I did, so I have never posted it anywhere. Yeah. Happy Easter as well. Yes, happy Easter. I forgot. That's really cool. It's my first time tuning in one of your streams. You honestly do a lot for the community, so thank you. I really try to give back. I mean, you guys have given me the life that I really dreamed of, so I'm very grateful and very thankful for, you know, everyone who tunes in and spends their Sundays with me. So very thankful, and very thankful for this life as well. So thank you. I only discovered you recently through Instagram, and you inspired me to make my very first short. I love your style and general vibe of your videos. Thank you so much. I always I don't know how to react when people say like, you know, some people come up to me and they're like, I got inspired by you to make my first short film, and I got inspired by you to like go into film school, and then they're now like they're in film school doing like their second year or something, and I'm just like, whoa, that's insane. Like I gave them that push, you know. I mean, not me solely, obviously, it's all them, but it's so cool when people come back, you know, after I put in so much hard work into my videos and stuff like that. It's just so cool to see that as the product. It's thank you. Thank you so much, Sid. Thank you again, Mark, for the good luck. One problem I have and was is that my voice kind of sucks every time I record. That's why I never try filmmaking or anything, or even recording. I don't think you need like to talk or like to have a great voice. I think you can have a unique voice, and if you don't like your voice, I'm sure there's someone out there that will like trust me. I didn't like my voice when I started, and when I look back at my videos, like when I first posted, I'm just like, that's how I sounded. Ew. My guess is that it is an indie film production company, so that, honey, takes a lot of money. I feel like that could be definitely a future for me. It's something I definitely cannot lie, I've thought about many times, and it's probably going to become a reality in the next few years. But as of now, it's a more low stakes, low budget sort of company, because I feel like something like that I would need an investor, and you know, like it is a shit ton of money to build up a production company with equipment and, you know, producers and people that you hire to sort of start this up. So, but it's something I've been thinking of for a very long time. Yes. Hey, Megan, I love your work. I have a question because I'm still trying to do my best as an editor and filmmaker. How can we create and build a bigger network through people? Ooh, this one's hard. Personally, before I started social media, that was my only thought. I was like, in this day and age, social media is a big, huge pivot into the industry. And that's when I realized I needed to start social media to get my work out there, to get eyes on my work. And that is how I expanded my bigger network through people. Another way, of course, is working at sets, working on set, reaching out to people, doing work for free. God, I've done so many jobs for a really, really low budget or for free, but it nevertheless, I would like never have taken those experiences back. I am very, very thankful for all of the things I did for free for like $500. Um, I think all those experiences really led me to learning so much about the network, the industry, and also learning so much about how much I can improve as a filmmaker. And it still surprises me until today. So I think either social media or working in the industry and reaching out to people, literally, like even if you don't have a following on social media, I have people reach out to me all the time, asking me to like for advice or to come on set. And more often than not, some people will say yes, some people will say no. But you never know, you might end up working with someone you really, really want to work with, and you never know how much you can learn from that person. Not saying that I am that person, but a lot of the times where I've worked with someone that reached out to me, we've built a very meaningful connection. Like I recently shot an ad, and this basically I was looking for an editor once, and this guy, like, he lives near me, and he told me that he'd be open to editing for me. And at the time I wasn't really looking for, I looked for it, like we worked as an editor and sort of like editor and creator duo for some time. And then I had shoots that I needed help with, and he so happened to have experience in shooting as well. So me and him built a relationship over time, and he recently shot an ad with me again, and we're friends. So I think something like that, can definitely happen. And you really never know, honestly. I think no one likes their voice because of their bone conduction between the ears. Makes sense. A lot of filmmaking content today is geared towards BTS, showing the process of how we work, etc. If you were to guess, how do you think the content would shift in the future? Or is BTS here to stay? I am a big, big, big believer that because of the whole AI revolution right now, a lot of artists and a lot of filmmakers especially are showing their BTS, because I've seen that the work is the flex and not the results. Because you putting in the hours, you putting in the creativity and the idea and making that thing is so much more than a flex of just showing the product, because nowadays you can't even tell if it's AI or not. And if someone looks at a great product, they're like, oh, okay, well, I could do that in whatever AI software. But showing the process is really just now more jarring than ever, that people are still putting in the hours and creating with their hands instead of just typing something out. So I am a big believer that BTS is here to stay as sort of like a benchmark and a copyright of saying, hey, I was here and I did this without AI. Big believer. Try becoming a PA on set for something small. That's also, it's a very brutal way of finding out and networking, but yes, sadly, that is mostly where all of us have to start out. I was a PA for 7-8 months on commercial sets back home. Try that secret. I found a little photo you hide at Herald Square train station, but I didn't tag you because I was inactive on social media. Sorry, but I really admire the state that you're doing what you like. I was like, who found that one? Because I was like, everyone, like, all of it was gone. Like I checked, everyone was like, all of it was gone. And oh my god, thank you. I now know who got the photo. So if you guys don't know, I had this like leftover like film slides that I normally buy for my Snap and Yap photo walks. And I did a video where I was like, I'm gonna hide this around New York. And he found it. He found one of it. I hit 3 photos around New York, like the whole of New York, like Chinatown, Soho, and one even like in the subway station somewhere behind a pillar. And this guy found it. So that is amazing to know. What? That is so random. What are the chances of you like jumping on the live and like letting me know? That was like it was like literally a year ago. um Thank you so much. Wonderful answer about networking. No one at first tell you is how important thing in film industry. The problem is that it's another yes, it is another ability in the filmmaking, which is very annoying. I get it. Like it's not like you go to an office and you're like, okay, let's do this, and then you just climb up the ladder. It's a lot more of like knowing people. But I think in general in our world, sadly, and I mean not sadly, but you know, in social media, in this filmmaking world, it's always about who you know. Of course, your work comes first and how good you are at your work, because if you're not good at your work, no one's gonna hire you. It's a lot about owning your craft, but also about getting to know the people that you work with. Damn, sharing that on Easter too is fun. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean it? Oh, you mean like the photo thing? Probably because it's an Easter egg. Yeah, okay. All right. Guys, I have how to build a strong wait, I think I didn't answer you just now. Yes, how to build a strong portfolio. I'm gonna show you guys something that I've never shown, I think, anyone on Instagram or on YouTube. I can show you my portfolio. So I can just run you through. And okay, no, now everyone's gonna see it because it's on my YouTube, but no one has seen my portfolio. It's only something I send to clients, and yeah, anyways, it's not very complete, but yeah. All right, so this is my portfolio. This is my professional portfolio as a director and a DP. Again, it's not very completed and it's not super professional, but it is what it is. So this is where I oh, you've seen this multiple times? Are you kidding me? Where? Did you Google my name? But basically, as you see, I try to like lay this out for clients as they come to my portfolio, and sort of I have screen grabs of like what has been done. I try to break it down to commercial music videos, and if I ever have and want to put them narrative work. Thank you. But yes, so this is what I do. Yeah, basically. And how you build a strong portfolio, I think it's good to have a mix of things in one category. Like in commercial, why is this not loading? I have a few, I have lots of like things that I've done for clients that I put in, and some of them, like for example, okay, I'm sorry, this is not loading, but for example, this Carhartt spec ad I did, it was for a fake client. Like I did a spec ad for Carhartt and I just put it in because I like the shots. And I feel like something like that really helps you build up your portfolio, because it's something you're pitching to a brand without any initiative of them paying you or reaching out to you. And that just shows that you're trying to build your own portfolio. And the more work you have and the more work that you put in and you feel proud about and you put in your portfolio, the stronger your portfolio will be, because you never know what a client is specifically looking for. And the more you have is obviously the higher the chances are of like what they could hire you for. But obviously never forget that even though you want to put more into, don't forget to like quality check it and make sure the quality is there. Yeah. And then so for music videos, I've not done many. I've done 3. Again, it's not updated. But yeah, the more you have, the stronger your portfolio is. And like, I guess that is something that is really, really important when clients are looking at your work. And again, quality and quantity, so that you have more chances of people, actually looking for what they're looking for. For me, social media also obviously provides me with a huge opportunity to put my work out there. And Instagram and my YouTube are basically like social platforms where people can look at my portfolio without hesitation, without hard to find websites. you can literally just search me up on Instagram, and then that is my portfolio. That is the work I've been putting in, and that is where I post both my professional and personal work. So that for me is a great platform where I also just use that as more of casual scrolling, looking for clients who want to hire me as a director or a DP. If they ever want to take a look at my social media as the portfolio. For some clients, it is, obviously interesting and important to them of like how much following I have, what my engagement is and stuff like that. For some, it's not. And for some, it's really just about looking at the work that I've produced. But yeah, that is my portfolio. Never shared it with anyone. This is my first time actually sharing with you guys. But if you Google me, I'm sure you'll see that. So take a look in your own sweet time. But yeah, I had multiple inspirations for making a portfolio, and yours is a great reference. That's very good to know. I wanted to keep mine super sweet, simple, and easy for everyone to navigate through, because that is exactly what you want. Unless you have a really, really good like website designer, which I don't have because you're really expensive. To make a really nice cinematic but also very understandable and quick portfolio. That's something I would love. Like I would want that to be my portfolio, but I need a really good website designer for that, which I don't have. But yeah, that I just want to keep it simple. I took a lot of inspirations from Greg Fraser. Greg Fraser is the DP for the camera guy for Dune and for Hail Mary. So things like that. I just took a lot of inspiration from his portfolio as well, because I wanted it to be simple, professional, and easy to navigate. Now I'm gonna Google you. As you wish. I made my own website a couple years ago, but that's more tech focused. Yeah, I don't know how to make a website, but I really should learn. All right. Okay, guys, I have to go. Literally meeting in 3 minutes. Goodbye. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you guys hopefully next week. I have to see. I'm in Malaysian time next week, so I'm going to try to match your timings as well. All right. Bye, guys. Wait, how do I end this? Hold up. Okay, well, my thing can't end. Okay, it's weird. All right. I'm just going to cancel this tab. Bye.